Ida for being too woke and shitting on someone's dreams? I'll try to keep it succinct. Thank you in advance for reading. I recently sold a business I had previously been working very hard on for the majority of my F43 adult life. I've been dating this guy and he asked if I'd meet for dinner with a friend of his that is looking to start a business himself and wanted my insight and perhaps also wanted to propose a partnership. Like my previous endeavor, his would involve dealings primarily in Mexico. Apparently he has built some sort of brand in the US and wants to pivot it to start selling mezcal, an alcoholic spirit made in different parts of Mexico but primarily in the very poor and widely indigenous state of Oaxaca. Without getting into specifics regarding sourcing, fair trade concerns, import fees, etc., his basic business model was to hire, for lack of a better word, fixers, to take him deep into Mexican states such as Oaxaca and Guerrero, find a small producer, or several, that are willing to devote a large part of their production to him, import with the proper fees and labels, and resell in the US with fancy branding and a hopefully very profitable markup. Now, this is not a particularly novel idea. It's the same basic business model such celebs as George Clooney, Casamigos, Michael Jordan, Sincoro, The Rock, Terramana, Kendall Jenner, 818, Bryan Cranston, Dos Hombres, have enacted to varying degrees of success. Here's the issue. When it comes to mezcal especially, the very best of it is still made in small, often very poor indigenous communities. In many communities, mezcal production, until recently, had been a means to provide the spirit for communal celebrations and some was sold to secure some money for the community at large. Recently, though, given the explosion in popularity and recognition of mezcal, hordes of opportunists, mostly white, mostly from the US, and, increasingly, subsidiaries of giant conglomerates have descended upon Mexico with the same goal in mind: source a large batch of relatively cheap mezcal and dump it on the American market at inflated prices. The obvious problem here is that poor, indigenous communities get lowballed for their intensive labor and the profits their product created never make it back to their land, despite the promises of their new business partners. I told as much to this guy and demanded he show me how he planned to make his proposed business equitable, to which, no surprise, he had no answer. Needless to say, the rest of the dinner was awkward and now my BF is livid, claiming I could have been less combative and that I shouldn't have injected politics so quickly into the conversation. Ida? Could I have submitted more nuance into the conversation? TL, Dr. BF's buddy proposed a business venture that had wild imperialist vibes. I called him out, and now BF is pissed. Ida?